I'm going to do a bad job here because I'm going to tell some of you right now, you already know what I'm about to say. I feel that's probably true. But I think there's also a pretty big number of you that this video could be helpful for. And my hope is that everyone comes away and you learn something in this video. Because I know through this process, as I had a thought and I was like, okay, is this true? And I kind of went back and looked through things. I was like, oh, I learned something here. And, you know, not everyone can nerd out on wrestling all day like I get to do. And maybe you do. Maybe you're like me when I was a teacher and 100% not always focused on my actual job. But anyways, that's not even what I'm talking about. There's a guy that's going to be entering college wrestling next year. And new college wrestlers enter wrestling every single year, right? And a lot of them do good. But this person that's going to be entering the collegiate ranks is, in my opinion, going to be a next level type of guy. Every couple of years, you get one of those guys that is not just good, not just ready to place, but is going to be a next level transcendent type of guy. You get your Gables every now and again. You get a Spencer Lee, the Nolfs, the Nichols, David Taylors. Those kind of guys enter, you know, every few years. And there's another one. There's another one entering the ranks. And his name is Meyer Shapiro. Now, if you've paid much attention to the last couple of years, you do know this name. And that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. Like, yeah, you probably know who this is. But you know what? Every year I'm a little surprised with, you know, you kind of come into March and that's when people start to figure out. So now you can have a leg up on your buddies. You can start telling them now, this kid from Cornell is going to be next level for the Big Red. And I'm going to get into why. Okay, one. And I'll kind of go back to 2021 when I first watched Meyer wrestle live. Now, Meyer had been a good wrestler up to that point for sure, but this is when he got on my radar. It was at the 2021 Cadet World Team Trials in Wisconsin. And as you guys know, this is like one of the toughest tournaments to win in high school. Getting on a Cadet World Team is on the very, very short list of best things you can do as a high school wrestler. And so Meyer's there, and there's a lot of great wrestlers there, but for me, Meyer just stood out.
Oh, nice little shuck by there by Shapiro. That was beautiful. That looked nice. Duck under. That was beautiful. That should be 4. And Swisher on his back. He's got to fight out of it. Skellinger in the red. Idaho. There he goes to his back. And back to it. Same thing. Kind of got that little bit of a sleeper build. Man, he just runs right through that underhook to the single. Wow, that's a heavy, heavy snap. Gracious, he runs right behind. Skellinger able to recover. He snaps and clears, catches that ankle.
This is the best guy in the building right now. This is the best guy I've seen. I'm talking to the boys about him. I'm like, okay, hey, tell me more about Meyer Shapiro. He's like, yeah, he's good, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, this weight, it was not the best weight. And of course, like, you know, not the best weight, but at Cadet World Team Trials, it's a pretty good weight. But he didn't have like, you know, a bunch of top 5 guys in there. But he balled out, right? And how he wrestled stood out to me because at the high school level, and, you know, a lot of these guys can score with really good defense. You know, they're hard to get to and they're strong and they can get, you know, you take a shot, this guy sprawled, down blocks and scores, right? It wasn't like that. This guy, he's attacking both sides. He's powerful. He can scramble. He's doing it all. And so from that point on, I was like, man, this might be one of the best kids in the country. And all last year, I said, this is the best high school wrestler in America right now. And I'm going to get into a little bit more of what separates Meyer, why he's not just another good high school wrestler that has a promising future, and why I think he's going to be a next level transcendent type of guy. And I'm saying it now before he's wrestled a college match, except that's not even true. Because last year as a high schooler, this dude went 15-0 in Division I Opens, okay? So he's not just a freestyle guy. He's got it in folk style, and he's entering college tournaments and balling out. And so let's go to last spring. He goes to the Junior Open. He's going to try to make a Junior World Team. Dominant. Makes to the finals. Antrell Taylor, that guy's a stud for Nebraska. Crossface cradle, he pins him. They didn't call the pin, but you all saw the video. He packed this guy, put him away. Goes to trials. He's sitting out 2 straight, no problem. He goes to Junior Worlds. And you know, if you recall, after Junior Worlds, everyone's like, man, everyone's talking about how great Meyer is. Everyone's talking about how great Mitchell Messenbrink is. And these guys were in back-to-back weight classes. And then the conversation is like, wow, how would a match between those two go? And So we're talking about it on the show afterwards, this hypothetical match that everyone's talking about after Junior Worlds. And Ben Askren, who has coached Mitchell Messenbrink essentially his entire life and thinks very highly of Mitchell, even he acknowledged, yeah, Meyer probably has an advantage in the scrambles. So this is an Askren product in Messenbrink, right? And even he is conceding, hey, he's not being definitive, like, yeah, Meyer may have an advantage in the scrambles. And let's also talk about the fact that Meyer is extremely powerful. So he's got great quickness and speed to the leg, both sides, inside reach, single leg. He can get to legs and fire. He's got great power. He can get to this like an Alex Daringer type of tie where he's got the underhook on one side and a inside control on the other, and he can take you straight feet to back from that position. When you're on his legs, he can counter score. Listen, I'm not some wrestling evaluator expert. I just kind of tell you what's I'm no Matt Scout, but I kind of know what I'm seeing. And what I saw from Myers is a guy that's just on a different level. So now I started to do a little research, okay? I was like, man, because we've been witnessing some unprecedented success at the cadet and junior level, right? We're getting a lot of cadet world champs every year. We're getting a lot of junior world champs every year, right? So then I started thinking, okay, well, how many guys, men's freestyle wrestlers, have won a junior and a cadet freestyle title, world title? And so I started looking back, and that list, and maybe as you're thinking right now, your list is not long. And I thought it would be. And then I went back and looked. Here's the names on that list: Spencer Lee, Gable Steveson, Mark Hall, Meyer Shapiro. End of list. That's it. Last 20 years, that's the only people on that list. And so what do we know about Spencer Lee, Gable Steveson, and Mark Hall? Well, they're next level guys. But what else did they do? Spencer Lee, true freshman national champ. Mark Hall, true freshman national champ. The only one that didn't win NCAAs was Gable Steveson, who's maybe the most D1 ready wrestler I've ever seen. And is maybe the greatest heavyweight of all time. Okay, and he didn't, and that's because, Anthony Cassar just, he solved that riddle that the world's still trying to solve, to be frank. And so Meyer's on that list, right? And there's not a lot of people on it, and everyone else on it did the thing pretty much right away. So you factor in that. You factor in his style is so varied, right? Can attack both sides. He can attack upper body. He can counter score. Okay, he's really good. He's not just good freestyle top. He's better folk style top. He's not. I mentioned this already. He's not a freestyle specialist. He's really good on top and folk style. Okay, where's he going to wrestle? Cornell. Okay, this is a program that has consistently churned out over the last 10, 15 years NCAA champions, true freshmen All-Americans, true freshmen NCAA champions. And he's training with one of them pretty much every day. And I want to make sure this is not lost. It's not just that he gets to train with Yanni. For Yanni, Meyer is a very good training partner for him. Okay, there's synergy there, right? And I don't think that should be lost. I don't think it should be lost that Cornell has a track record of doing the thing with freshmen right away, and that he's going to be well prepared. And I've been hearing from how excited they are about him for a while now, well before he was a student at Cornell. So all this to say, that's what I think. I think Meyer Shapiro is going to come in. And is he my pick to win NCAAs at 157? Because that's the weight he's going to go. We thought maybe 149. Too big. 157 it is, it sounds like. And you got Levi Haynes. He's a beast. Jared Franick. Ja'Cory Teemer for my guy Ollie. Yeah, they're all going to be in the mix among others. But if you're asking me right now who's my pick to win 157, I'll say it's Meyer. I think it's someone we're going to see wrestling on Saturday night in Kansas City. And start telling your boys that maybe aren't paying as much attention that they should know the name Meyer Shapiro.